Look, I'm not preaching against education. I'm not preaching against educating yourself. But when it comes to growing up, finding your career and finding what it is that you want to do, there is no one way that should work for everyone else. Education is one way of pursuing a path, and society and our parents most especially as well have misunderstood education to be the one universal path that everyone has to take. I'm saying this because there has just been this push in my generation for everyone to go to uni, and university was like the ultimate goal for everyone to go to. Like university for me back then was this huge thing that I didn't even think I could achieve or I could do. Yeah, I felt so accomplished when I ended up going to university. I didn't even see myself doing it. And our generation, Gen Z, like it's like kind of the last generation that had this huge push, or had experienced this huge push or this huge pressure of going to university. Obviously, times are changing now. There's many ways you can build your career and make your money, and education is kind of, or like university degrees are kind of losing their value. So why do I talk about this? I'm talking about this because I myself have gone to university and I do kind of regret going to university. I just wish I would have taken another path and just not have followed the pressure and the fear that was instilled in me about what would happen if I didn't go to university. Anything concerning creative where you can have your own ideas flourish, that's what I would always be good at. I was never good at school. School was never something that I've enjoyed doing. It was never something that came easy for me. But back in the day, there was still this mindset that like, oh, if you go and just like learn a job, or if you go and just do like an apprenticeship and just, do anything else than uni, it's lesser of value than you going to uni. And me as well, I have an African parent, and for everyone who has African parents, they can relate to the fact that there is this force, like you are basically being forced to go to university, like you don't really have a choice. So this mindset that like I had to go to university, that being the ultimate goal, was very much there. And I didn't see a lot of value in my natural given gifts or in my natural inclinations, because at the time, university, higher education was still like the thing that was valued, that was like the thing that I thought I could never achieve and that I felt like I had to achieve in order to become someone. Yeah, and I ended up going to uni. I studied, I finished my degree, and honestly, I feel like university has just kind of been like a huge scam. It has been a scam because the whole time up until university, you've been sold this dream and this idea that, oh, you will have opportunities, you will have job perspectives after you go to uni, this is the ticket to your success, this is the ticket to your opportunities. And yes, I mean, it does lay the foundation for your opportunities, but what comes after that is so much that you still have to do in order to access those opportunities. Because university, you just read book. Like university is about reading book. You don't really learn any skills. You don't learn anything, depending on the degree though. It depends on the degree that you take. But for many degrees now, it's science. Essentially, university is science. It's scientific work. It's about science. So you learn how to conduct scientific work. You learn how to read. You learn how to research. That's the main thing you learn. And that's what uni is meant for and has always been meant for. So I don't really understand at what point this whole idea came about university being the main ticket for everyone's career. I don't know at what point this idea came about, because really and truly university is higher education meaning you learn about science, it's about theory, and it's academia. But academia doesn't necessarily make you useful for the job market. And I don't know at what point this idea has been formulated that in order to find a good job or in order to find a good career and be financially well off, you have to go to uni. Uni is just one path of many paths. And if you ask me, university is for people who just like academia. And many of us didn't even like school. So why go to uni when we didn't even like school in the first place? Like, that's why I asked myself, why did I have to go to uni when I don't even like school in the first place? For example, now, I studied psychology, because even choosing a uni subject was difficult for me. I didn't know what to study. I didn't know what I would want to spend my time studying on. So I chose psychology because that was the only thing that I was interested in. But turns out that psychology is still a science in itself. I still didn't 100% enjoy the psychology because it's a lot of science, it's a lot of scientific work, and it's not something that I necessarily enjoy. So I chose psychology with the idea that becoming a psychologist, becoming maybe a clinical psychologist, therapist, whatever. But when you go to uni and when you enter your degree and when you enter all these pathways, having a certain profession in mind that you would like to achieve, you also have to keep in mind that after the bachelor's, after the first degree comes the second degree and all the qualification processes and the postgrad degrees and everything. And the thing with that is that it's a lot of school. It's a lot of years spent in school. And what I just asked myself at the point is that, do I like school this much that I will still end up spending such an amount of years in school? I never really liked school in the first place. Did I really sign up? Did I really want to sign up to be spending basically after my entire teens and childhood, still almost my entire 20s in school, doing academia, when I didn't even like school? It doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't. I love psychology. I love the idea of people and learning about human behavior and why humans do the way they do things. But honestly, I do not enjoy academia and I do not enjoy science. I don't enjoy scientific work. I never saw myself as a classical scientist. So I think a huge misconception in society and with our parents has been this whole idea that, you have to go to uni. Uni is the only path for everyone to access their career. Uni is one path of many paths. And if you ask me, university is for people who like academia. Or maybe you can afford it, you have the time, you're interested in a topic and you just want to learn more about the topic and you just happen to have that time and that money. Other than that, university is for people who enjoy academia, who enjoy scientific work. And that's just the thing with it. And what happened now is, though, that so many of us have been pushed to this path of going to uni that wasn't necessarily maybe the path that we should have taken, but we've been pushed to it because this idea has been around that uni is the only way to access your path, to access your career path, that many of us ended up coming out of uni being lost and confused. It's been advertised and promoted as this one and only path that everyone has to take. But the truth is that uni is for people who enjoy academia. And maybe people like us who didn't really enjoy academia, who that path was probably never meant for, something else would have been meant for us. But we've been all pushed into this path and now we came out uni being lost. And honestly, I do partially blame the fact that I went to university, that I have been lost and confused about what I want to do for a very long time. Because I feel like it's not the path that I was meant to take or that I ideally should have taken. Something else would have been better for me. And I just wish that coming out of high school, I would have been given the time and the space to really think about what I could do. And I wish I would have also been encouraged at the time in my natural gifts and what I could do, what would have been possible with the things that I was naturally good at. I wish I would have been encouraged, because at the time, now it's different, but at the time, still, like maybe thinking 10 years back, anything creative wasn't still seen as something that you could achieve much with, or that you could be successful with. It was seen as this thing that is so highly competitive and so difficult to get into, and just something that would just not end up giving you financial security and stability. And look at it now. Look at us now. Look at how the creative industry is so huge. It's now become this huge industry where there are so many opportunities, become so versatile, so accessible, just based on skill, not even based on what school did you go to, what degree do you have, based on skill. Something that you can break into without any formal education. So I wish I would have, back in the day, just been more encouraged about that. I wish I would have received more encouragement. I just wish I wouldn't have been just pushed into this one path called uni. I wish I would have been given the space to explore my natural gifts, my natural inclinations. But yeah, this is how this happens, and this is why many people are confused after uni, because again, it's been advertised, it's been presented as this one and only path, when it's not really the one and only path. There are so many different paths that different people are meant to take, and not everyone is good in education, not everyone is good in academia, and that's okay. Some people are just better with their hands. That's okay. It's all okay. Like, one path is not better than the other. Like, one thing is not better than the other. It's just like university and academia has for a long time been just put on such a high pedestal, but the reality is it's not much better than anything else. I just wanted to ramble about this whole thing of university, because for me it's been such a huge thing. It's occupied so much space in my life. It's just had a huge effect on my life. Honestly, it's had a huge effect on my life. And I think it's had a huge effect on many people's life, you know, given that it's a path that people have been pushed into that wasn't meant for them. And I think it's impacted a lot of us. And just also this whole disappointment after uni, finding out that jobs are not at your reach. You have to still do so much more to actually access jobs. And it's just then this whole, yeah, you just feel like you've been scammed. Honestly, you feel like you've been sold a dream. You feel like you've really wasted your time after all these years. Because for uni, you really put your whole life on hold. For 3 years, 4 years straight, you put your whole life on hold just to focus on studies. Just to find out that it wasn't still enough. It wasn't still enough. You still need to do so much more to access jobs. So, and then coming to that realization after uni is really tough, and it really mentally impacted me, and I'm sure it impacted a lot of people as well. I don't know who sees this video, but if you see this video, like, be encouraged to just really follow what you're good at, follow what you want to do. Like, don't see uni as this one thing that you must do. Like, there are so many different paths everyone can take. You know, uni is one path of many paths. It's academia. If you like academia, by all means, go to uni. But if school is something that you're not naturally inclined to, that is something that you don't naturally enjoy, explore other things, explore other ways. It's not the one and only thing that you need to do. Also, maybe share your own experiences with uni. Share how you experienced the whole uni thing and how it's impacted your life, and how do you feel about that topic. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.